if it means that I can't work for Vince, that's fine. I'm very good with that. I don't need to be around him, and he doesn't need to be around me.
All right, well, please put your hands together for Jake the Snake Roberts.
Bada bing.
I'm wearing the mask so that people can see your lovely face.
Oh, wow.
What a wild time to be alive, right?
Hey, beats the options. You know?
Did you ever think that in 2020 you'd be signed full-time to a wrestling company?
No. Surprised I've lasted this long, actually. I just, at some point in your life, you decide you want to do things that make you happy. And I was okay with that, but sometimes I say the wrong things because I feel that way. But I've realized that at the end of the day, I want to be able to look in the mirror and say, I like that guy, you know? And if it means that I can't work for Vince, that's fine. I'm very good with that. I don't need to be around him, and he doesn't need to be around me. It's just the way it is. So I'm very, very happy. I feel very fortunate. I've been blessed. And I got a pretty good guy to run with.
Yeah, you do. When you look in the mirror now, do you like this guy?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
good,
yeah.
good. I'm so
happy.
happy.
As a chick, I'd do me. Actually, I'm thinking about doing it anyway.
So you're running with Lance Archer now.
Yeah.
How'd they get you paired up with Lance?
A phone call, man. They came with the idea, and they asked me if I'd be interested, and I said, well, sure. And they wanted me for 10 weeks. And then after that 10 weeks was up, they just said, please stay. Okay. You know, and it was just great timing because had the virus not been going on, I'd have been out doing my shows all the time, and I wouldn't have had time to do them.
Yeah.
So now it's worked out to where I can do both.
Right.
And I'm hopeful, real hopeful, that I'll be able to start doing my comedy shows again come like November, December. So.
Right.
And I got a book coming out real soon, so yeah.
That's great.
It's
When are you expecting the book to come out?
The next 6 weeks.
Oh, wow. What's it called?
I haven't named it yet.
Okay. Well, we'll find out in 6 weeks then.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you say that you can't work for Vince again, is that because you're with AEW?
No, I just
You have the WWE Hall of Fame ring on as you hold this mic.
Yeah.
So obviously,
well, I earned that.
Obviously, yes, sir, you did. But obviously,
there's a lot of people in there that didn't earn those rings.
More applause for that. Wow. But things must have been okay with Vince, or okay enough with him, to be in the Hall of Fame.
Well, he done it because it was the right thing, the smart thing. You know, don't kid yourself. The reason that they still have toys being made of me is because they still sell.
Yep.
You know, I mean, that probably blows my mind more than anything else. That I can go into a Walmart or someplace and there'll be another damn toy being made of me.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute. I haven't been on TV in 30 years. What the hell, man? It's just really odd, I think, you know. And but I understand it from the fans because the talent today, they don't know how to get over. And they don't know. Wrestling today is all for visual, you know. In my day, it wasn't. It was through the heart. It was emotional. I wanted to hook you up emotionally, and the thing about the difference is visual lasts a split second, then the brain wants something fresh. But emotionally, if I hook you one time, I've got you for the rest of your life because you'll always go back to that moment. So, hey, man, good for me because they're still selling shit on me that it's kind of freaky.
Nobody cut a promo the way that you cut a promo.
Yeah.
Who inspired you? Whose style did you? Or maybe it's.
Nobody.
Wow. Was it?
It was an accident. What happened was I was wrestling a guy by the name of Bob Roop, and he dropped a knee in my throat, and it crushed my voice box. So this is as loud as I can go. If I try to go any louder, nothing comes out. So, and I've always hated those interviews where guys are screaming. Because number one, if you're screaming at me, I'm turning that shit off. I'm not listening to you. And then I just kind of explored the idea of talking low and whispering because I realized that worked. You know, I mean, if you walk into a crowded room and shout, everybody get on the floor, you know, when you walk off. But if you walk into that same room and you go, psst, I got to tell you something, it's a secret. Everybody in there wants to hear this.
Yeah.
So I just went with that. And, you know, I love music, so I'd take groups of words off of a song and implement them because my thought is if I can say something that you've heard before, you'll be agreeing with it before you know what you're doing, you know. So I just kind of roll with that, man. And I liked having fun doing them, you know. I mean, I've never considered what I do work.
That's the best kind of work.
Because I do it for free, you know, because I love what I did, you know. I mean, it's just good times.
It might be hard to narrow it down to just one, but do you have a promo that really stands out for you?
Yes. It's one where I told the cameraman just to roll it. So they said go, and I went. The guy's like, hey, man, we can't hear you. No shit, you know? That's the idea. So I did it again, and then after about 40 seconds, I stopped, and I went, now, tell your son that Jake Roberts can't get you off the couch and make you try to fix a TV that's not even broken. Don't you feel like a complete idiot? Tell your son you're not scared of me. That's another lie. You know, and it was fun, man. And I got so many hate mail letters like, I can't believe I got out of my chair to try to fix my damn table. Well, I'm so sorry, you know.
One of my favorites, it's in your Hall of Fame like vignette, is Mean Gene says to you, you are a sick man, Jake Roberts. And you say, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I can't imagine that was planned out.
I didn't ever plan an interview.
Wow.
I had an idea in my mind what I might want to say, but I just went out there and went for it, man. Just let it come out. You know, if you do things naturally, they seem to take on a whole different animal. You know, people can tell when you're forcing an interview. People can tell when you're reciting an interview. You know, the same way they can tell a match that's been I never did that. I never practiced. Practice? Fuck you. I don't know how to practice wrestling. Because, I mean, the idea is your action causes my reaction. That's all I need. You know, these guys that go out there and they're trying to remember 20 things and they miss one and it just totally messes them up and they don't know what to do then and they don't know what to do anyways. What the hell? Guys ask me a lot, you know, what would you do? I'm going to tell you, here it is. Never destroy your own, oh my God, just a second. Brain fart. I get those. Wow.
You got it. The
I
momentum?
got it. Not momentum. No. Never discredit yourself. Never destroy your own. Bada bing. Anyway, it's like this. If let's just say you were married for 20 years and you never messed around on your wife, and that 21st year, Jake Roberts came to town. He took you out, and the next thing you know, you're in bed with a midget. And you feel so bad the next day that you've cheated on your wife, who you've never done that with, that you have to go and tell her the truth. During that conversation, you say, now, honey, I've never cheated on you before, but this one time, it happened, and I feel so bad about it. Do you think she believes you?
Yeah, no.
Once you destroy your own credibility, you cannot get that back. I tell guys, less is more. Because if you do things absolutely perfect, the fans will get behind you. But if it's a little bit off, you're just another phony. And you don't come back. You destroy your own credibility. I mean, that's the reason I know God's not a woman. Because God forgives and forgets. A woman might forgive you. She ain't forgetting shit.
It's crazy to look at your career in WWE and think that you never won a championship. Does it bother you at all?
No, I never needed one, man. And why do I want to carry a 10-pound belt around, too? I got a 100-pound snake. I got a trunk I carry it in. And I got my wrestling gear and my clothes. I can't carry nothing else. Some guys need to have a title just to make them a star. I was already a star, I didn't need a title to make my name. I did my shit in the ring.
Yeah.
So I'd like to have the money that went with it.
It was a different snake every single town you went to?
No.
Okay.
I'd have
This
the
is a
snake,
misconception.
the same snake for 10 days or so, then I'd have to trade them out.
Did you ever get a snake that you didn't like and went?
Right, I did. When I first went to WWE, they had me a snake handler. And all I could say about him was he was Charles Manson.
Your snake handler was Charles Manson.
He was worse than Charles Manson. This guy was really weird. And I got the snake, and this thing was going crazy on me and stuff. I'm like, dude, this snake, he's like, don't worry about that one. I got you a new one coming, and I guarantee you it's going to get Steamboat for you. What? I promise you, he's going to get Steamboat. Does he know what Steamboat looks like? I didn't think so. So I had to smarten him up that we were actually in business together to have a good match. And that I didn't need a snake attacking him and killing him. That and the fact that, wait a minute, I'm the one that has to pick it up. Wait a minute, it's my hotel room it sleeps in. It's my bathtub it stays in at night. Like hell it does.
Did the snake ever get out?
Oh, yeah.
Into the hotel?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You guys remember the Killer Bees? Well,
Of course, yeah.
Jim Brunzell and I shared a room one night, but he was terrified of the snake. Now, I don't know what happened, if I accidentally left the bathroom door open or something. Maybe. Or maybe he left it open. I don't know. No, because he wouldn't even go in there. But during the night, the snake got out and crawled across his face. And he woke up with it like crawling across his face. And I'd taken some resting pills.
Sure.
Sleeping pills. And Jim could not get me awake. And so I woke up the next morning about 10 o'clock after, 9 or 10 hours of great sleep. And to see Jim Brunzell sitting up on the back of a chair and doing this. I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, keep an eye out for that snake. I'm like, well, where is he? He goes, I can't see him anymore. I think he went under the bed and I don't know where he's at. Well, just throw him in the bathroom. He couldn't do it.
Oh.
So, that was the last time we split a room.
Yeah. How did you know going into the ring? It was usually a python, right?
Yeah.
How did you know that everything was going to be fine?
I always expected it not to be fine. That way, when it was like, oh, okay, that's great. I got bit a lot of times. Other people got bit.
But they're not venomous, at least.
No, but I don't care if it's venomous or not. It hurts like hell.
Sure. Do you still have bite marks on you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. These are all.
Oh, my gosh.
That was a bad one there. That was 30 stitches.
Wow. 30
that
stitches.
That snake committed suicide, by the way. He did. I got to the back and I was bleeding everywhere, man, because it got that vein. Every time my heart would beat, it'd shoot about 20 feet. And I picked the snake up, and, man, I don't know, he overpowered me or something, but he just dove at the wall with his head. You know? And I pulled him back, and he did it again. And I pulled him, I did it again.
That poor snake.
Yeah, until it was flat. I had a snake attack me in Indianapolis that got around my neck. And the last thing I remember, it only took 2 or 3 seconds, was like car lights were coming at me.
Wow.
I'm like, what the heck? And then I went down, and Steamboat took him off of me, or I'd been dead, because the snake was constricting around your neck. People don't understand. It only takes 3 or 4 seconds, if it's around these veins, to cut the blood flow off to your brain. So.
Wow.
Yeah, it was interesting, because when I came to, I just rolled over and I looked and I seen about that much of the snake still in the ring, and the rest of it was in row 1, 2, and 3. And the people were scattering, and it became a very dangerous moment then, because a lot of people could have got hurt. So I grabbed the snake by the tail and whipped it back into the ring.
Oh.
Yeah, that's fun.
The snake you used for the Macho Man bit,
Yeah.
it's a cobra.
Yeah.
Which sounds...
King Cobra, yeah.
King Cobra.
Yeah.
Which, that haunted me as a kid. I'm sure it
Good.
haunted everybody as a kid.
Good.
Good, thank you. Watching a king cobra attack a man in the ring.
I thought it was a great idea. You probably heard before the story where Savage made the snake bite me first to make sure it wasn't poisonous. I'm like, Randy, so you really think I'm going to bring a poisonous snake in the ring to bite you and kill you so I can be a champion? No, I don't need that. Well, maybe you do, maybe you don't, and so I had to let it bite me first in the locker room, so I let it bite me on the leg. But it did piss me off that he thought that. So when it was time for the snake to bite him, I picked the snake up and turned my back to Macho Man so he couldn't see what I was doing. And I just paintbrushed the hell out of that snake, which now he is hissed off. And he was ready to chew. And he did some good chewing. One of my favorite moments of all time.
Did you know in the setup for that segment that WWF's reaction would be putting this red X on the screen?
No, I didn't.
Because it was so weird to see that.
Yeah, it got out there once or twice, but most of the time they put the red X on there, It took all the fun out of it for me.
So that snake was devenomized?
Yeah, had the venom sacs removed.
And the fangs removed?
No.
Oh.
Cobras don't have fangs. They have teeth like a fish. It's just spiny teeth. I mean, I used to get, back in the days when I was drinking, I'd get drunk in the hotel room and I'd get bored and I'd put that cobra on the bed and it would stand up and hood up, and then I'd hang my arm out there and let him try to bite me. And it was easy to,
like you're playing
they're
chicken with a snake.
they're very slow. Cobras are very slow. A python strikes so fast you can't even see it. A python has fangs about that long. A cobra has nothing. So even if the snake bit you, it didn't hurt. The only thing that freaked you out is when you looked down and seen an animal chewing on you. You know, that kind of, wait a minute, this isn't right, you know. And that's what freaked Savage out, because the snake was like, "Ah," you know, and it freaked him out. Freak out!
How much of what you have now, you sitting here right now, do you have to owe to DDP?
My life. My life.
Yeah.
Nobody knows the pain that is involved with addiction. If you haven't been there, you don't know. You cannot understand it. You cannot get your mind around it. Nobody I've ever met has told me, you know, when I was young, man, my dream was to grow up and become a drug addict and an alcoholic. Nobody dreams that. But it does happen. It can happen quickly. It can happen over time. But you don't know till you're there. And once you're there, it's too late. It's too late. It took me 3 years to get sober. I had to live with him. I didn't go anywhere by myself. You know, I quit driving cars for 10 years because me alone with a car is not a good thing. I might just wind up in the wrong place. And don't want to do that. I did that movie or documentary, whatever you want to call it, because I wanted other people to know that you could make it. It's not easy, man. God, it's not easy. It's a lot of suffering, a lot of lonely nights, a lot of hate, a lot of hate. But the only way for recovery to happen is for you to get honest with yourself and talk about where you're at. You know, whether you've been molested as a child like I was, the only way to make it better is to talk about it, which is something you don't want to do, but you have to. And for other people to have seen that documentary, I've had hundreds of people thank me for doing it, if not thousands. I've had a lot of people come to me and say, man, when I seen that, that was the last day I drank. And that right there makes me feel good.
Yeah.
Because no human being should ever have to feel the pain that addiction can put on you.
When did Dallas approach you and go, Jake, I think you've got a problem?
He never did. He just said, hey, man, do you want to quit?
Huh.
Hell yeah, but it's never happened before. I've been to 3 rehabs. I've done all that stuff. It didn't work. But what worked for me was doing it for a longer period of time, having guidance, having a support team, and by him not giving up on me.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't always smooth. There were some bad days. And there were 4 instances where I went out and drank. Well, most places would have kicked you out, you know. But he just said, just shut up, come back tomorrow. And I'm like, damn, man, aren't you going to give up on me? You know? No, I'm not giving up. Forget it. Well, hell, man, if you're not going to give up, that takes half the fun of it. So I just stuck with it, man. And now I look back and I just, oh, my God, it's scary. The things that I did, the things that I survived. But again, I just want to help other people that need help.
That's exactly what you're doing now.
Yeah, absolutely.
How long were you an addict?
Well, I still am, but I guess addiction had me probably by the time I was 16.
Wow.
My grandfather was an alcoholic, hopeless alcoholic. It's in my family genes and all that stuff, but my brother Sam Houston's had a hard time. I think he's got 10 DUIs now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about the influence your promos have had on the world of wrestling. Also, your moveset has changed the world of wrestling. DDTs are in almost every match now.
Yeah.
Which was your
don't do it
finisher.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think it takes some of the sting away from your finisher?
No.
Okay.
No, if somebody sees it now, they just say, man, when Jake did it to you, you didn't get your ass up. And that's true. That's true. You don't get up if I do it.
Where did you come up with the idea for it?
An accident in the ring. Guy stepped on my foot. We fell backwards, and it was born.
Wow. And how'd you come up with the name?
I got up one morning and went to eat breakfast, and I got a newspaper from the USA Today, and on the front page it said, U.S. government outlaws DDT. And actually it was the name of a poison that we used to use on crops and stuff that was getting in our food chain, and really bad stuff. But it was dichloramine, methanol, some of the, one of these names that's about that long. But they just use DDT. I'm like, perfect, that works.
Did you make it stand for something ever? I think a lot of people thought.
Oh, Damien's dinner time. That sucks, man. Like I would say that.
Well, we're going to take some questions from the fans here.
All right, I got a few more minutes.
Yeah, so we got a few more minutes. So if you have a question, shoot your hand up. And
yeah, bro.
Yes, sir.
What advice would you give to anybody going through recovery?
So I'm going to repeat it back in the mic so everybody can hear it.
Yeah.
So what advice would you have for somebody going through recovery?
Do not give up. If you fall, dust your ass off, get back up, get back in it. And don't listen to your head. Because your head will tell you you're not worthy, you're not worth it, you're not going to make it. You're going to hear all that stuff if you're going through it. But just don't give up. Keep reaching. Keep reaching, man. Don't be ashamed to get help.
Yes, ma'am. What's your name?
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth.
Miss Elizabeth.
The question is,
Where did the snake gimmick come from?
I've been Jake the Snake pretty much since I've started wrestling. So
If your name wasn't Jake and it didn't rhyme with
it'd
snake.
probably be Billy the Bug. Or Carl the Carl the Cockroach. Cockroach, that's it.
Yeah.
What do you want, buddy?
Oh, what made you want to put the Ultimate Warrior in that room with all those snakes?
Because I know the guy.
Thank you,
All right.
Jaden.
I think that's it, brother.
Okay.
Cut it.
Give it up, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks, guys.
For the legendary Jake the Snake Roberts. Yeah. Thank you very much, brother. That was great.
I can't tell you how nice it was to be able to do an interview in person. So a huge thank you to Fighting Words Promotions for inviting me to the Independent Wrestling Expo to host these live interviews, these live Q&As. This one with Jake the Snake is the first of 3 live interviews. How cool was it? Hearing the fans, hearing the laughter, hearing some applause. It's just so nice. It just brings up the energy. So this is the first of 3. We did Jake the Snake Roberts, Gangrel, and Jazz. So keep an eye out for those. They'll be coming out soon. And the card at the Independent Wrestling Expo was stacked. Top to bottom. I'm going to miss out on some names here, but it was Brian Pillman Jr., Brian Cage, Lance Archer, Alex Hammerstone, Sean Spears, Chris Masters, Jacob Fatu, oh my gosh, Jordan Grace, Thunder Rosa. I'm going to miss out on so many here, but a ton of people. You get the point here. And when Jake sat down to do that interview, he was wearing the mask, I was wearing the mask, and I said, do you want to wear masks for this interview? And he said, well, if you wear yours, I won't wear mine. I thought, well, that's why I said that comment off the top, so people can see his pretty face. No one's on these videos to see me. I am very aware of that. And we talked about how Jake the Snake may be the greatest promo in the history of wrestling, but I think you saw here, and you've seen in any other interview that he does, that nobody tells a better story than Jake the Snake Roberts. How good was that?